You can make an error. How do you come back from that error? It's your girl T here, back with the Tea Time Tuesday vidya. I know y'all are having a beautiful, blessed day because we're tea timers. It's absolutely what we do. Our affirmation of the day is, I say who I am. I say who I am. We say who we are, not anything outside of us telling us who we are. This is where I'm going with the video today. Who are you? I remember when I first started manifesting, I was so focused on manifesting my SP back that I never focused on myself at all. Of course, the old classic, they came back and went right back out because they said or did something that triggered my insecurities and my false beliefs about myself, and then they zoomed out of my reality just as quick. This is because when you don't know who you are, how are other people supposed to show up for you and love you and do all the things you're requesting when you don't even feel that way about yourself or know who you truly are? And it's not to say who your parents tell you are or your friends tell you are, because a lot of times they are reflecting old identities that we believe that we were. When you truly get down to the nitty-gritty of it, you know who you are as a person. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you feel drawn to? What do you not feel drawn to? Do you go around, I used to do this, and say I'm not a feelings person, and I would stuff my feelings and try to show people how tough I was? Or are you really a sensitive, kind being who stuffs their feelings just to put on a persona? When you take all that crap that a lot of us, the mask that we wear for the world off, who are you at the core? I'll tell you who most of us are. Most of us are love. Most of us want to be loved. Most of us want to share our love with everyone around us, but you get these layers and layers of protection around you because of what you dealt with through your day-to-day life, basing your existence under a false identity that you have picked up along the way through people telling you before you consciously knew how to manifest things, the interpretations you have of people's behavior, etc. But when you take those layers off, most of us at the core are love. So when you are going through your journey and you're picking an identity, make sure that the new identity reflects who you truly are, not who you're trying to pretend to be or who other people are telling you you are, but who you truly associate yourself as. Like, for example, with my identity, I say I am love, I am health, I am wealth, I am everything, and I say I am the queen of my reality. I deserve to be treated like a queen because that's how I truly feel about myself. And I say things like everything, like superficially I say things like everything I circulate comes back to me tenfold. But that's a superficial one. I mean, that could be a limiting belief. Superficial in the sense that at my root, I say things that truly encapsulate who I am. I'm creative. I am respected. I am appreciated. I am valued, because those are things that I truly believe about myself. And I see that through my behavior towards myself. I would never allow someone to talk down to me or for me to talk down about myself. And generally speaking, I don't get a lot of down talk towards me from other people. But do you know what I did notice when I was living in my old identity 10 years ago, where I was projecting this false narrative? People would make jokes about me and I would laugh at them because I was making jokes about myself. People would say derogatory things and I would act like a clown to get laughs, and they would reflect that back to me. What you truly feel about yourself, you can trick yourself into believing that other people don't see that, but because we're all one energy, and because the way you feel about yourself will be reflected back, there's no hiding from it, because the way you feel about you and the way that you treat yourself is going to come back to you through people, through situations that pop up, whatever. If you choose an identity where you're the class clown, or where people don't take you seriously, or you're always last picked, guess what garbage is going to float back into your existence through experiences, through people, through things people say, etc. It's going to be that identity that you have chosen to live in. So when you are going through your reality, if you're confused and you don't know how you want people to perceive you or vice versa, maybe take the time to sit down and watch how people are talking to you, how people are treating you, what circumstances are repetitively coming up, and maybe make a list for a couple days and then counterattack those. If you don't like that experience, how do you like to be treated? If you don't like what that person said, how do you want people to talk to you? If you don't believe the things that people are saying to you about yourself, how do you want people to see you? And how do you want yourself to see yourself? This is the work, essentially, if you can't trace your own patterns, if you can't see what's hindering you, if you can't see where your narrative needs to change or your state needs to change or where you need to be picking a new identity. And if you're not sure and you're confused, you can ask your subconscious questions. How does it look to love myself? How does it look to be loved? How does it look when people respect me? I wasn't able to finish that last segment because I had to go. But another thing that you can do is when you make a perceived mistake, like you feel like you screwed up in your reality, how do you talk to yourself? This is such an underrated way for people to find out their blocks. Or I hate the word blocks, but to find out your narrative with yourself. Like when you make a perceived mistake, how do you talk to yourself? Do you say, oh, I'm such an idiot? Oh, I can't believe I did that. That's so stupid. How could I do that? That's ridiculous. I hear it all day, almost every day. When people make what they think is a mistake or something doesn't go their way, the way they talk to themselves is atrocious. You would think that they were their own worst enemy. I have to intervene sometimes and be like, don't talk to yourself that way. And when I interrupt, like pattern interrupt what they're saying to themselves, they don't even realize how harshly they're talking to themselves, because society has normalized speaking down to yourself or calling yourself names when you aren't falling into line with the perception of we have to be perfect all the time. And if we make one little error, that means that we're eternally an idiot, or we're internally stupid, or we're internally You can make an error. How do you come back from that error? Do you consider that all your flaws are flawless, like High Frequency Guru says? Or do you consider that when you make one mistake, the rest of your life is ruined? Because how could you be so stupid to do that mistake? These are the small things throughout the day that when you add them all together means that out of your 60,000 thoughts, 59.5 thousand of those thoughts, or 59,000 of those thoughts are going to be negative. You know why? Because we've been trained by society over generations and generations to talk down to ourselves and to focus on problems as opposed to how can we get the solution? How is this going to work out for us? How is this going to go the best case scenario? As opposed to, oh my God, my life is ruined. Let's call all of our friends, tell them how crappy this problem is, tell everybody about it that we see, revel with them in how crappy of a problem this is, start a new friendship over how they have encountered this problem before, how unfair it is to us, and become victims. This is a very common cycle I see in everyday life. So to get ahead of this, y'all know what to do. We want to focus on things always working out for us. We want to focus on talking to ourselves like we are the best friends to ourselves in the entire world. We want to start changing the way that our world looks by changing how we look at ourselves. We want to change how people see us by changing the way we look at ourselves. We want to give ourselves grace, be gentle to ourselves, talk to ourselves like we are a 2-year-old that you're trying to protect. And when they say the inner child healing, you're reparenting yourself into a beautiful place. You're reparenting yourself to say, it's okay that that happened. That doesn't mean that things aren't going to work out for you. It just means there was a hiccup, and all my hiccups lead to best case scenario. If y'all need help with this, you know what to do. I love y'all, but not as much as y'all. Keep loving yourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Bye.